Hi everyone, my name is Amber Nelson and this is Encouraged. So I just want to ask you a question. Who is God to you? Who is He to you? Who is He to you? God woke me up a couple of weeks ago and asked me this question. And it kind of shifted me a little bit. Later on we had a conversation, God and I, and it just aligned me even closer. It was some correction and I'm doing this because it was some friction, and I just want to present that question to you. Who is God to you? Who is He to you? And has He moved into being something else? If God was your provider yesterday and He's your provider always, in the relationship that you have with Him, are you learning Him to be somebody else? Are you learning Him to be a companion? Are you learning that He is a jealous God? Are you learning that He is above every other name? That there is no other name higher than Him? Are you learning Him as that God? That's what I call Him. He's that God. Like, when you think about somebody being that and somebody being everything and somebody just having it, He's that God. That's what I call Him. Are you in a relationship with Him where you're making up names for Him? As I have affectionately called Him that God. Are you in a place with God that He isn't just this same God that He was when you were first introduced to Him in nursery rhymes? Is He something different to you now in the life that you have, now that you are grown and matured? Or even if you aren't, are you in a place where you want to experience Him as something else? This beautiful book is filled with so many characteristics of our God, so many names of our God, so many traits and attributes of who He is. It's so much about Him that amazes me. It's so much about Him that amazes me. And I can get so lost. We follow the ACTS model in prayer, and ACTS is adoration, confession, thanksgiving, supplication / declarations. And I get so lost in adoration, so lost, because He is everything to me. And when I think about it, I just begin to think, and I lose myself. I lose myself in Him being Jehovah Jireh. I lose myself in Him being my peace. I lose myself in Him being my best friend. I lose myself in Him being my bridegroom. I lose myself in Him being beautiful. I lose myself in Him being my comforter. I lose myself in Him being the best listener. I lose myself in Him being so loving. I lose myself in Him being so strong and so mighty and so just and so amazing and so peaceful. Oh, and so beautiful and so sweet. Like honey, I lose myself. I lose myself in Him. But you know what also happens? There is a strength. There is a strength that comes up, and when situations arise, I know who He is. I know who He is. Who is God to you? Who is God to you? And I'm going to pin some scriptures with some names on who He is at the end of this video. But ask yourself that. Who is God to you today? Who is God to you today? And how can you seek Him to be something else, something deeper? Let's not stay in the same place in our relationship with God, because we aren't in the same place with other people. As you grow, you find out more about your person, the person who you're in relationship with. As you grow with that person, you find out more and more about them, more of their likes, more of their dislikes, more of things that are like, wow, I didn't know that about you. It's the same thing with God. It's the same thing with being in a relationship with God. He moved from being my Proverbs 3 and 5 God, being my Isaiah, all of chapter 60 God. He moved. In this time that I have spent with Him, He has transitioned to me from being God, just plain old God, to being that God, to being my everything, to being my daddy God, to being my boo God. He has just shifted to being more. So I just encourage you that in this relationship that you have with God, you treat it as such. You treat it as a relationship, and you spend time with him, and you spend time in his word and knowing who he is and learning about how good and how beautiful and how awesome. And you just continue to see who he is. Continue to seek and find out what tickles his fancy. Find out who he is. Who is God to you? Who is God to you? My name is Amber Nelson, and this is Encouraged.